From fast food to organic food, investors are eating it today. Let's talk to Reuters correspondent Ryan Blistelica. Ryan, McDonald's, the Big Mac, under attack. October saw the first monthly sales drop since 2003.
Absolutely. Bad news over there at McDonald's. Certainly news that investors are not loving, to borrow their quick phrase.
Got that? Yeah.
Basically, they have some increased competition. Taco Bell just had some new products out there. In addition, just weak economy in general. A lot of people cutting back on discretionary spending. That's not a surprise. But like you said, this is a notable sales drop for them. Like you said, the first in many years. That's something to be very cautious about. It's sort of wondering, are we going to see something like this? What does this mean for discretionary spending for the economy as a whole? So that stock is down about 1% today.
Down about 1% today. They've been trying all these promotions. The latest is the CBO, the cheddar, bacon, and onion. I think that they thought that Romney was going to be in the White House because Michelle Obama would never let that fly. They have 4 more years of her, more fruit in the Happy Meals. Well, no CBOs.
Cheddar, bacon, onion sounds terrible, so.
She would agree. All right, let's move on to Monster drinks. Now, Monster drink, the profits miss. Safety claims, ramped up with caffeine, these drinks. Across the board, across this whole category, they've had problems in terms of investigations there.
Talking about the energy drinks, a Monster beverage, which is, of course, comes in a giant can.
It's Monster.
Really intense, sugary taste. Bad news there really across the board. Like you said, profits sort of missed expectations. In addition, probably more important to watch from a longer-term perspective is they're being investigated by the Food and Drug Administration on safety claims after people have died, allegedly, after drinking some of these products.
That's bad.
Tragically, there was a young girl, I think she was 14, she had some kind of heart defect, she drank 2 within a 24-hour period, unfortunately passed away. That family is suing Monster Beverage right now. Of course, the company says the products are safe, but obviously this is something to watch out in the future.
Energy drinks, the fastest growing drink among soft drinks. I don't know, I think if you exercise and you rest, you'll have energy. But who am I to say?
That's not been proven.
Monster's down 5% today. Whole Foods, on the other hand, you try to eat well, but also they have a lot of stores in the East Coast, and they were hit hard. Their profits in line with forecasts, but their sales are down because of the
Same-store sales are
storm.
down. Superstorm Sandy came in. Of course, a lot of stores were closed. They basically came out and said that because of the storm, their sales will be weaker in this past quarter. Sales are still growing, just not at the pace that they were at last year. So, I mean, and that stock is down today. I mean, that's not the kind of thing you want to see, although it is, in the act of God realm. It's not like company mismanagement or anything like that. There is still stuff to be excited about if you are an investor in Whole Foods. They increased their dividend by a substantial amount, 43% or so. And like you said, the profit held on pretty nicely. So there is silver lining if, on the outside of the storm on the inside.
Because the storm affected, when we saw Open Table, we talked about that too. I mean, they were way down also with a lot of their clients in the East Coast. All right, let's go back to the market monitor and let's take a look at the broader markets here, which were edging up earlier, but now we've got 3 red arrows, Ryan.
A lot of volatility out there. I mean, not massive moves, but this does come on the wake of yesterday's just tremendous decline, biggest daily decline in a couple of months. There's still a lot of concerns about the fiscal cliff issue that's coming up. What's the next catalyst for markets going to be? No one really knows. That's sort of discouraging. That's why people don't want to buy, even though we had some pretty good labor market data in the form of jobless claims.
Right, exactly. All right. Cisco, there's a couple of things that are weighing on the market today, but Cisco is down 2%. McDonald's, as we mentioned, also down over 1%.
A couple of major companies, especially in the technology space, especially weighing on the NASDAQ today.
Right. If we look at some of the sectors, we pull them up and see how they're doing. Financials are up, utilities are up.
Utilities are more of a defensive stock, so that's not really surprising to see them. As people continue to be concerned about what the growth outlook looks like, they're going to jump into something like utilities.
All right. Let's move on and talk tech, because interesting Apple. I mean, obviously Apple up. What was 705 was its peak. Now, yesterday Apple was down 4%, which was more than the S&P 500. They're down another 2% today. So increased competition. Everybody's making a tablet or an iPhone. Tim Cook's executive shuffle, investors a little wary about that recently. Foxconn, the plant, they keep saying that they're not keeping up with productivity in terms of making the iPhone 5 over there and have their margins peaked. I mean, the products are getting more expensive to make. This was an automatic buy for a lot of fund portfolio managers who are now saying they're much more bearish on the stock.
Well, I mean, of course, Apple is still a massive company and still making a ton of money, selling a lot of products. But on the downside, like, the stock really had a tremendous run this year. It was adding like $100 a share, seeming every couple of months. So that's huge, and it's not really surprising to see the stock come down this much. I don't know that people were expecting it to enter bear market territory, falling 20% from its peak.
Right. Shed 130 billion in value.
Right. Yeah, but that's where the stock is now. I'm sure it'll stabilize after a while, but I think people are also waiting to see a new exciting product line, not like the iPad Mini, more something like the TV is what people keep hoping for.
The next big thing that you didn't know that you needed until it's put in front of you.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about Qualcomm. They make the chips that go in the iPhone 5. They actually beat big, so whether they're making the chips, sending them to Foxconn, and they're just sitting at Foxconn, you know, not being made, doesn't matter to Qualcomm. They're still making a profit.
All these iPhone 5s may not be great for Apple. It certainly is good for Qualcomm, like you said. Profits, earnings, profits and revenue both beat, profits and earnings are the same thing. Profits and sales both beat expectations, largely due to increased demand for the chips that are used in products like the iPhone 5. So that's very good. They're having a very good day over there. I think it's up about 7% or so midday.
They are up 7%. Have they peaked? We don't know. With all the increased competition, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Okay, Ryan Vlaselica, lovely to see you as always. And remember, follow us on Twitter for more headlines at Reuters Insider. And we have lots of great videos at our YouTube channel, Reuters.com/Reuters TV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters. Thank you, Ryan, very much.